What's good people? It is CW coming at you with something that God blessed me with earlier, and it's amazing. One thing I love about serving God and making this a daily thing is that God can pretty much turn anything into revelation, encouragement, awakening, however you want to say it. So, that being said, quick story. When I was young, me and my brothers, my sister, my mother, we had a dog. The dog's name was Spike, little toy poodle. Beautiful little white toy poodle. And I really loved Spike. But Spike could not stand me. Because I tried to spend too much time with Spike. I focused too much energy on Spike. Spike was annoyed with me because I wouldn't leave Spike alone. And the funny part about it is that I remember my mom telling me, because I told my mom, Spike always runs from me. And she told me, Charles, you're smothering him. Leave Spike alone and see if Spike comes to you. So I left Spike alone. I saw the error of my ways, being too needy, blah, blah, blah. I left Spike alone. About a week later, we're all sitting in the living room watching TV, and I'm sitting on the floor. Next thing I know, Spike comes and sits in my lap. And we were basically best friends after that. He played with my brothers and my sister too, but me and Spike were like this after that. Here's the reason why I'm saying this. Is we hear people say a lot. Well, I can't say I hear people say this a lot, so let me say it like this. I've been in a couple of situations where I get revelation from God, a revelation with something that I'm going through, to where it's pretty much this: the more you keep looking for it, the longer it's going to take for it to get to you. You're pushing away God's blessings because you're focused on nothing but God's blessings. You're pushing away God's promises because the only thing that you're focused on is God's promises. You're so focused on God's promises, and I'm saying this to myself too. You're so focused on God's promises that you lost track of God. You're putting God's promises before God, and that's the reason why those same things have not manifested yet. You'll hear people tell you, they'll say, pray about it and leave it alone. There's a reason why you pray about it and leave it alone. It's the same reason why you invest money in something and you don't check that investment every single day, because you're going to drive yourself crazy. The reason why you pray about it and leave it alone is because once you pray about it and leave it alone, you give God the opportunity to do what God needs to do. Don't get me wrong. There are going to be some situations that we face to where you have to go to God about it constantly. I have certain things that I'm going through, the way I've gone to God every single day. Lord, clear this up for me. But for the most part, with things that God's promised, okay, Lord, you promised me this. Now I'm learning to just let it go and leave it alone. I'm learning to just let it go. And that's the problem that I see a lot of people have, is that they don't get what God truly promised them because they won't let that thing go. And I'll sit up here and say it just like this. You're too concerned about a kingdom marriage. You're too concerned about a perfect job. You're too concerned about a bigger house. You're too concerned about a better car. You're too concerned about healing. You're too concerned about financial blessings. You're too concerned about whatever type of miracle or anything in your life that you feel like God promised you. You're so concerned about it that you're stopping it from coming into your life. And I know God promised it to you. I had something in my life that I was going through recently, and I kept praying to God, and I said, well, Lord, you told me this is how it was going to play out. And it ain't playing out that way. But then I finally got so frustrated and fed up. I said, I'm done. I'm not thinking about this anymore. The only thing I'm going to do is continue pushing forward and get myself together more and more with you. And there was a certain form of clarity that came across to me with me doing that by saying, Lord, it's in your hands. I ain't got nothing else to do with it anymore. If it manifests, it manifests. If it don't, it don't. But I'm still going to do my best to get close to you. It's on you, God. I'm letting it go. I let it go and I put it in God's hands, and we're going to see what happens. But that's what a lot of us need to do in our lives. We need to figure out what our spike is, and we need to let spike go. We need to see if spike is going to come back to us. Let God bring spike back to us, and then after it, whatever it is that you're holding on to so deeply that's actually dragging you down, if it comes back, it's going to be better than you could ever expect it. If it doesn't, then you have to believe that there's something further, that there's something else God has in store for you that will mean more to you than anything else. And I want to be clear about this, because we tend to relate the type of relationships we have with God a lot. I'm not saying as a man, if there was someone who I felt God called to be my wife, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to find a woman that's younger and that looks better. I'm not saying for a woman, whoever you feel like God called to be your husband, that you're going to find a man who's stronger and has more money. I'm not saying anything like that. But you have to understand, as I am digging a little deep with this, I understand, I get it. But you have to understand how God operates. You have to understand what God is really capable of. God does not just satisfy part of your needs. God does not just satisfy a few of your desires when it comes to significant others or anything in life. The job that I have now, I would not have ever applied for this job, but I've been going strong at it for 2 years. And if it had not been for the Lord, as them country folks say, and I'm one of them, if it had not been for the Lord, I would still be torn apart, wondering what's next and wondering if I can make this work. But the job that I have now is so significant. It helps me financially, definitely helps me financially, but it also calms down a certain amount of chaos inside of me, because I have so much on my plate every single day, and I love it. It's not something that a lot of people would love. The people who got hired with me, it's probably only 3 of us left. It took me a while to get used to it, but I love it because it does more than just help me out financially. It helps me out mentally as well, and I need that. I didn't know I needed it until I got it. So when I tell you God will give you something that satisfies you entirely, I mean He's prepared something for you that's going to take care of you physically, that's going to take care of you emotionally, and that's going to take care of you spiritually. But what you have to do is be willing to let it go and let God get it ready for you. Otherwise, you're going to wake up 10 years from now still waiting on it to come, not even realizing that you pushed it away and kept pushing it away. But to God be the glory. This is CW. Remember my 5 favorite things. Stay focused, stay faithful, stay true to yourself. Treat other people how you want to be treated. Give God all the respect and glory that God deserves, because God is doing a whole lot more in your life than you could ever imagine. I love you. I know Jesus does too. Peace.